Hult Prize Regional for 2020.
Advantage in R&D and in industrialization, and a mentor in yeast fermentation who had 10 years of researching in this area.
What's the competitive advantage of your products compared to other bio-based leather brands?
So Enzima got 3 votes for EE Show. There's also 3 votes as well.
Definitely, I mean, they were very close.
Let me confirm with all the judges. The top 6 we have Pando, Midway, Biochar, Stegood, Greentown, and Enzima. Congratulations to the top 6 finalists.
Good afternoon, we are Enzima.
The fashion industry is the second largest polluter in the world. The more you love fashion, the more you limit the environment. According to a global survey in 2019 by the United Nations, these are the problems caused by the fashion industry. However, in Paris, we consider it's our mission to alleviate the problem and see them as opportunities. Our goal is to unify the fashion industry with bio-based leather material.
Our leather is as strong and durable as conventional leather. We can grow sheets of leather with different thickness. Our leather is naturally dyed using organic dyes during the manufacturing process. This means that we can adjust the size, the thickness, and the shades of color of the original leather. Another point worth considering is time competitive. Why it takes conventional leather approximately 3 years to grow, with bias we only need 1 month to grow new batch of Scoville leather. That is 36 times faster. Bias is completely animal-free. As a result, there is no animal cruelty. Our process has no negative impact on the environment because it is a closed-loop one, in which we utilize leftover byproducts to recreate 100% leather.
Our leather costs about 33,000 Vietnam dong to make, and we sell them at a 59,000 Vietnam dong price. We also contribute ourselves to the impact we make for the environment. So Bios tackles first, improving our air quality, second, say no plastic use, and third, alleviate land pressure. We also are representing a circular economy where everything is reusable and tradable. We, Bios, aim at a sustainable development, and we believe that with our products we can redefine our world's material and create something that will last forever.
With Bios, leather has never been more sustainable.
What if sometime this year 2 members cannot continue with this project? What would happen? And how would you deal with that situation?
As a team, at the first time when we decide to continue with this project, we will make sure that we will divide our percentage in the team. And right now, the team member will account for the 25%. And if a member in my team left, she needs to leave her percentage in our companies, and a 3 member will continue to develop our project.
Each member of our team is already know about the process of making this leather, and we have committed to each other. We have a contract among us that we're gonna keep going on with our project, so it's not gonna be a problem.
Have you tried making any products from it, and how did it turn out?
Well, in the meantime, we only try to make the recipe as correct as possible so that it can reach the certain amount of thickness. So as you can see, this kind of thickness is the thickness that we always desire to have, and we have compared to other leather products, and we find that this leather can be used to create fashion items such as wallets. And we are trying to bring that to a designer to help us to make a wallet too. This is the thickness that we are replicating.
But have you made something out of it yet? Have you tried sewing it and cutting it? Because looking at it is different from actually working with it.
So we actually just make a basic letter and we set a milestone in our R&D process. But right now we test the durability and the waterproof. And in the next time we will test how to dye it with the organism. And we also test about the decorations and surface design. And in the first year of launches, we will target and expand in a bed and accessory.
Okay, I suggest that somewhere in there early on, you make something with it first. Right, before you dye it, you need to see if you can sew it, right? Because what if you put needles into it and it starts falling apart?
Well, I think with this kind of texture, like if I rip it apart, it won't it has the durability that we always desire.
Okay, then that would be the opposite problem. What if it's too hard and now you can't sew it with the sewing machine? Right, so you need to make sure that it can be used for fashion if that is your goal.
Actually, because we can adjust the thickness and we can make sure that this have the durability so that we can apply sewing or some decorations on our leather.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm just saying, as you test it, don't just try to make it thicker and thinner. You have to test it with the sewing machine to see if what you're getting was usable.
You are so talented individual. So you can do other things to make more money, and then you can contribute to the country to make the environment change. So why do you do this project together? How long does it take for you until now? Have you been doing?
To answer your question, I would like to take an example from famous brands such as Nike, H&M, Chanel. They are all striving to make their products entirely zero impact to the environment. Sustainability is a topic that's never been more addressed in the 21st century. And the wave of sustainable products, sustainable fashion is on the rise. And it's not just any temporary trend. It's not certainly among environmental conscious community anymore. People are getting more. People are starting to realize that our quality of life is getting worse. And obviously it affects their lifestyle. And top fashion and designer are not creating such trend. They are moving with the consumer needs. And sustainability is something that is on our head in every decision and every action we make. And buyers believe that with our product, we can be the change that's needed for the fashion industry. Embrace the flow, embrace sustainability, and that is our goal for the product. And we have been sticking with this project for half a year, and we are still trying our best to improve the level.
For me, the Enzima is not very new idea. How to reach 1 million users is not scalable at all. So.
Technology of Enzima is totally new. It's innovative, breakthrough material as well. They be able to process the new leathers material that come from the new biotechnologies and can apply fastly in the fashion industry.
I think I like Enzima because they have a product that you can actually provide feedback on. So with Enzima, since they have a prototype, I think that that's a pretty good step, especially if they start looking for funding. And then I have Stigood as a close number 2. Right, Stigood has a very simple product or service, right? And a lot of times it's simple services that can actually make a big difference. My only concern with Stigood and the reason why they're number 2 is that I think they didn't seem to know that many fertilizer companies that use food waste as the beginning product.
Also, Miss Han chose the handle is number 2, Enzima number 1. The difference between the decision from Miss Han here is Enzima Pendle actually is very good products. The product is better than Enzima. But the problem of Pendles, Miss Liu Han doesn't like because the level of their skill, English skill, and presentation skill is the problem. And if Pando, Vicent, Pando go forward, maybe they cannot learn or absorb much than Enzima in the next global competition. Ms. Johan rather want Enzima to be the first rather than Pando.
I agree with Ms. Johan about the English skill and the presentation skill of the Pando not so good compared with another team. But in our scorecard, we do not mention about that. I also think that the young people, like all of the team members here, they can improve presentation skill and also English skill because we have time for them.
You're more friendly to this video climate, then you might express yourself better, so it would be unfair. But I do generally think that Enzima would project better, whether at the end of the day that would be my only doubt.
Can you explain your decision for Enzima number 3 as opposed to like some of the other judges voting for Enzima number 1, and why did you choose Stigwood?
Well, considering two aspects. The first one is it the right team, and the second one is the impact on the environment. So Stigwood seems to be more dominant to me.
So I just think that Stigwood has a better chance of actually coming to market and being a real service. But with that said, I mean, I am on the fence between the two, so I could go either way. Pando on a global stage would be interesting because other countries may not be able to do what Pando is doing because they don't have the manufacturing. Maybe China or a few other countries can compete on the manufacturing, but Vietnam would be one of the few that can do that.
I agree with Lin.
So I think we're all in agreement with all the judges. Thank you, all the judges. And the final team that gets represent Vietnam at the global stage for the Vacuum Accelerator is Enzima!